Good morning, afternoon, or evening to everybody watching this video now or in the future. Today, the random guy that makes random tier lists. I think I added an extra random in there. It's all right. I am back making another tier list for you guys, and today we have a very controversial one today. We're doing Star Wars movies and TV shows. Let me know in the chat if I totally butcher some of these, because I know my opinion on some of these movies is not the same as other people's. All right, let's get into it. Let's not waste time. The first one we have here is the, I believe, original Star Wars. Yep, because that's Return of the Jedi right there. So I'm not sure what order these are in, if any, but the original Star Wars, I think, is a B tier movie. I think that I did not grow up in that era, but I think it is a good movie. I think it is a little boring in parts, for sure. But as I've gotten older, I've grown to appreciate it a little bit more. Now, Episode 2, The Attack of the Clones, I think is a C tier movie. There's some really, really good parts of it, but I think as a whole, it's just not as... It's just, there's too much going on in some cases. It's not hard to follow, but I could see how somebody who's new to the franchise, it'd be hard to follow for them. So I'd say it's a C tier, despite the fact that there's a lot of memes and a lot of great scenes from that movie. Now, a couple of these I didn't watch, so I'm actually going to change my D tier to F, because that's basically going to be the same thing. I'm going to change our last one here to didn't watch. So Star Wars Rebels I have not watched. So I have heard it's good, though. Same thing with Star Wars Resistance, and same thing, I've heard it's good, but I haven't watched it. So those two will be down there. Next, we have The Return of the Jedi. I think The Return of the Jedi is an A-tier movie. I think The Return of the Jedi is one of my favorites of the kind of original trilogy. I think it's better than the first one. It was one of my favorite. It was my second favorite growing up, but I think it's dropped down a little bit for me. But yeah, it's still a very good movie. Next, we have Revenge of the Sith. Easy S tier for me. I think that is an excellent, excellent movie. For some of you that were maybe born before this movie, before the second series of movies, before the prequels, you might have a different opinion than me, but this movie is everything to me. I think it's the best Star Wars movie. And yeah, that might be an unpopular opinion, but that's what I'm going with. All right, now to get controversial. I think Rogue One is an F tier movie. I found myself literally falling asleep in the theater. I know a lot of people really love this movie, but I just thought it was very boring in parts. And I just found myself not caring about the movie that much. I don't know if it was the characters. I don't know if it was the story, if I knew what was going to happen at the end, because obviously it's going to end at the beginning. I did like the end when Vader came in and killed everybody. That was awesome. But overall, F tier movie for me. Solo, I think is C tier. I think it's a good movie, but similar to Rogue One, it just didn't have a lot going for it. I think Episode 2 is better than Solo. Put it that way. The Clone Wars, and I believe this is the original Clone Wars that was on like Cartoon Network and whatever. I think this is B tier. It gives you a lot of the stuff going into the next movies. And it expands on a lot. I liked Ahsoka. I liked how Anakin was shown in the movie. It showed him a little bit of a stronger character than he was in Episode 2, because obviously it comes after it. So next we have the Clone Wars, which I'm not sure how this is different from the other Clone Wars, and I might be missing something obvious here, so I apologize. But I'm going to put didn't watch for this. I think this is when the series was resurrected, but I'm not sure. Empire Strikes Back is an A-tier movie. I think Empire Strikes Back is probably the best of the original trilogy, in my opinion. Obviously, it has like very classic scenes. The Vader fight is great. But if you were to say Return of the Jedi is better, I wouldn't argue with you. Those two are they're ahead of the original Star Wars, in my opinion. Oh, we're going to get controversial now with pretty much all the rest of these. Let's see here. We have The Force Awakens, we have The Last Jedi, Mandalorian, Episode 1, and then the last one, the Skywalker. So, Force Awakens. I loved this movie when it came out. I know a lot of people did not. I don't know if it's aged as well as, because it was the nostalgia when it first came out. I was like, oh, this is so great. I'm going to go ahead and put it in B tier. There's still a lot of things in the movie that I really, really do like. There's some things in the movie I really, really don't like, though. So, yeah, I'll put that there. Oh boy, The Last Jedi. I'm trying to think. I think I feel a similar way about it. Yeah, I mean, overall, this new trilogy was a letdown, right? I mean, I don't think anybody will disagree with me when I say that, right? This new trilogy was definitely a letdown. But I think I'm a little bit higher. I think a lot of people would put them all in F tier, and I think I'm a little bit higher on them than a lot of people are. So, uh, yeah, I think The Last Jedi is better than. I'm sorry, I think The Force Awakens is better than The Last Jedi. There was, again, some things in it that I very, very liked, but there was also some things that I did not. Um, so, yeah. Mandalorian is an S tier series. I highly, highly recommend it. I loved The Mandalorian. I loved how it expanded the universe. And kind of the way that Disney has been saying that they're going to. I thought Mandalorian did a fantastic job of that. So that's S tier for me. Episode 1 is F tier for me. This movie's boring. I don't like Jar Jar Binks. Yeah. Kid Anakin's annoying. I don't know why we have half the movie focused on pod racing. Yeah, not. I mean, there are things in the movie I really like. I really like Qui-Gon. But yeah, I not. It's my least favorite of the original 6. It's my least favorite mainline at all. Rise of Skywalker. Is that the name of the movie? The fact that I don't know for sure the name of this movie probably tells you how much I didn't enjoy these, even though I'm a little bit higher on them than some people. I put it in C tier. I mean, it was all right, but it was like Palpatine's back. Like, what? Like, it just didn't make sense a lot of the times. I mean, it might be F tier, actually. It just didn't make sense in a lot of the cases. There were some really, really cool scenes, some really, really cool stuff. But it just didn't make sense. So, I mean, like, I would rank these like this. I think this is verging on A tier, in my opinion. It's probably not a popular one. I think this is verging B, C. And this is kind of C. I'm going to leave this in F because I think that, yeah, I didn't really care for the third one as much. I did like it, and I liked it a lot more than a lot of my friends did. So, I mean, there's that. But just as time's gone on, I would put it down here. I think I liked it better than Rogue One, but I think Rogue One's probably objectively a better movie. So, I think that's, yeah. So, 3 series here I didn't watch. We have Mandalorian and Episode 3 on the top. Episodes 5 and 6. Our B tiers Episodes 4, Episode 7, and the Clone Wars. Our C tier is Episode 2, Episode 8, and Solo. And our F tier is Episode 1, Episode 9, and Rogue One. So pretty concise there. Let me know if you would have done it differently. Let me know what you guys think of the video in the comments below. Let me know if I'm an idiot or not for some of these opinions. And with that, guys, I have been the guy that makes random tier lists. Signing off.